Here we go. It's time for the Getting Outdoors podcast, Town Country United Bank Lake Millers Ferry Weekend Hunting and Fishing Report. A weekly update on water conditions, ramp events, generating schedule, what's biting, and seasonal hunting information with outdoor reporters Joe Allen Dunn, Kevin Sims, and Shane Jones. This weekly hunting and fishing report is brought to you by the good folks at Town Country United Bank in Camden, Alabama, serving their customers for over 40 years. Town Country United Bank's highest priority is satisfied customers. Now, here's your weekend Lake Millers Ferry hunting and fishing report.
First one, 2023, smackdown.
There he is. Team Bigfoot, baby. Another one on the B&B Silver Shade. Team Bigfoot in the house.
Shane Jones crappie fishing. Good morning, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Getting Outdoors podcast 205 Town Country United Bank Hunting and Fishing Report for the weekend of February the 17th through February 19th, 2023. And I got my outdoor reporters, Team Sims, Team Bigfoot, and Shane Jones crappie fishing. How you guys tonight?
Good.
Well, I tell you what. I not only called the powerhouse, I got a tour of the powerhouse today. And I got to walk out on top of the dam. First time I've ever done that in my life. But they running the powerhouse at Millers Ferry and Jones Bluff around the clock. They got the spill gates open, and the temperature in the river is 52 to 54 degrees, and in the sloughs is 54 to 58 degrees, according to Joe Allen, who's been out there practicing for this weekend's jugging contest.
Well, I mean, like Kevin said, further, I didn't go all the way to the back, but the further you back, it could get closer to 60. And but that temperature this time of year is kind of fickle, you know.
Yeah, you have
It'll
a
change
thunderstorm. The back will get cooler than the middle.
Yeah,
that thunderstorm.
it's fickle.
What was the temperature when you was out? You was on. Where were you last weekend? You travel so much, I can't keep up with you, Shane.
I fished up here on the upper end of the Roy River.
Okay.
Up here, out of Houtons, out of Bankhead.
All right. And what was the temperature up there?
Oh, what was it? 55, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The main river was 55, 56.
All right.
Well,
we want
Big Daddy, you know, Shane needs to change his name to what me and you said. It should be the Crappie Gypsy.
Yeah, I agree. I can't keep up with him. I sure can't. He's at a different place on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
That's how you learn how to fish.
He was at Bibb County Lake Friday, and then he was, I don't know where he was Saturday, and then he was at Bankhead Sunday.
I'm trying to think where I fished Saturday. I don't even know where. I went to Demopolis Saturday.
Yeah. You was at 3 different places last weekend.
That's right. I went to Demopolis. That's right.
Well, you got your Martin boxes up?
Yes, I did. And I heard Martins, but I couldn't see them. I could hear them, though.
They're here. I'm getting reports all over South Alabama that they're here. And I cleaned out 16 bluebird nest boxes yesterday and lightly got ate up by some wasps. But, but thank goodness they were kind of squirmish. I reckon that cold weather had them a little bit squirmish. And get your hummingbird feeders ready. If you hadn't had them out this one, it's time to get them down, clean them out, and put them back up. And
you got to put my bird feeder together. You promised you would.
Yeah, I will. I'll do that this weekend. I sure will. You need to have it up too. All right, the game check numbers are in. These are unofficial game check numbers, and I went all the way back to it started 2019, 2020. It was 215,000 game check deal. Now this is buck and does. And then in 2021, it was 272,731. Of course, that was the year of the pandemic, so everybody had time to hunt. Then it dropped down to 180, 164 in 21-22, and it's up a little bit. Now, these are unofficial numbers. There's probably still a few that have been turned in since I printed this out Sunday. So 194, 835 was the final numbers on Sunday, but it's probably up a little bit from them. But what do you think? What do you think, Kevin? Is that good or bad, or what you think? I doubt if all of them got reported, though.
Well, I mean, they didn't, but I mean, that's a base number to look at, and it looks like a decline a little bit, No. All these biologists, the ones that's the experts up there, they ought to be figure out whether it's a decline or if it's a data issue.
Yeah. I think it's a decline in the economy issue. That's what that is. Not as many people hunt. One guy come in the store and price some bullets. He said, "Hell, I'm waiting to run over one in my car. I ain't buying no bullets for that."
They are high, ain't no doubt about it.
But and everything's changed. People are fishing for trophy fish. People are trying to kill trophy deer. I mean, you gotta go spend $200 at the processing plant once you kill one, and for I say the average, a lot of people, so people be a little more selective. Probably
can't afford that right now.
Well, I'll tell you this much: those numbers are probably off because all the processors around here set records this year. Weaver Processing and Coleman processed 4,700 deer.
Wow!
So, I mean, everybody around here set records. Wild game processing here in Brasper set records. So them numbers are probably skewed a little bit.
Well, if you carry it to wild game people, they got to have that number. Or they can't do it officially unless they're just doing it on the table or whatever, but I doubt they are. But you got so many people, the price of it around here has gotten so high. A lot of people do it.
Everything they do to process them, any specialty stuff, like when they make sausage and hamburger, it costs money.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I went and got some in Thomaston yesterday, and it was what I got was that bacon wrap backstrap, and it was $6 a pound.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, when we gonna cook some of that bacon wrap backstrap down at the river?
That's what I'm talking.
Bring some this weekend.
That's right. Well, I got some.
No, we're gonna cook catfish, and I'm gonna cooking your favorite chili this weekend. We're gonna save that backstrap for later. All
right. Hey, I want to know.
It's tough if you can't catch a fish, Big Daddy. You can bring the deer meat down there for everybody.
I want to know. Hey, I saw where Keith Bridges and Southern Trading Company had not one but 2 commercials on the Super Bowl Sunday night. When we're gonna have a Dunn Sports Super Bowl commercial?
Well, I'll tell you right now, with my brother, never. and I'll have to admit, I will say never too.
It was a good one. Again, y'all can go look at it on my Facebook page. All right, the Camp Chef. We got 2 shows in the can that I have got to edit. One of them, what is it, Joe Allen? One of them is barbecued shrimp, right? You and what?
Yeah, me and Hunt did barbecue shrimp, New Orleans style, and we did charbroiled oysters, his secret recipe. And then me and Donna did a Camp Chef by ourselves with Todd missing, doing it in the the pressure cooker. A lot of people don't know that you need to pressure cook that deer tenderloin sometimes to make it just fall off apart. And then we could do another one next weekend down at Putnam, Alabama, in a friend of Todd's deer camp. And all I'm gonna do is run the camera. I'm gonna be the editor and director, and let Todd run his own show this time.
Big Daddy, you hear that about editor and all? You hear that?
I just let
wait. Using that loose, wasn't he?
Yeah, that was very loose. I forgot. I don't edit nothing. Big Daddy does.
All right. Let's talk about this before we go to the hunting and fishing report. On Thursday night, Shane Jones started his crappie cast, and Shane, I don't think it could have went any better, man.
No, it went well last Thursday night, man. We had Eric on there and John Former. John Former's going to be on there with me just about, I guess, as many times he wants to. It keeps you from listening to me all the time. But we got Aaron Knight on.
He's kind of going to be the Shane Jones of the Town Country United Bank Hunting.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to have Aaron Knight on there. He's a local fisherman. He's got a reputation of catching a lot of fish. He's a good guy. I talked to him earlier. He's going to be on there Thursday night.
Yeah, I met him. I met Aaron up there at the weigh-in at the Alabama Crappie Masters at Cooter's Pond. He really surprised me. He didn't want to smile when I took his picture. I made him smile, but he's a good guy. He sure is.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good show. I think we're gonna finally get it set up where we take questions the first 15, 20 minutes, and then throw some scenarios at Aaron, how he fishes, high water, low water, spring, winter. We're gonna try to change it up and try to help people learn something. So hopefully we will.
And that's tomorrow night, 7:00 on Facebook, Crappie Cast Show on Shane Jones Fishing. If you hadn't already liked it, go like it right now. And also, they made the announcement today, Friday at 12:00. They are going to announce the Wilcox Area Chamber of Commerce Big Buck Contest winner. So that will be, and of course, I'll share it on my page. So, all right, that's enough. Anything else? Let's go to the Town Country United Bank weekend hunting and fishing report. We're going to start off with the catfish. We got the jugging contest this weekend. Team Sims, have you had any practice?
No, sir, I have not. I've been working, making tuition money, so I'm going into blind.
He don't need no practice. Hell.
I'm going to go into blind also. Joe Allen's been out there, claims he's been out there. I ain't seen no pictures or nothing.
Oh, well, I've been experimenting with new bait and new oils and scents to put on my bait. But
he got some essential oils, Big Daddy. I seen the lady over in the store the other day with a car, had a pink car. She pulled up in that big pink.
Don't tell everything now. Don't tell
She had a big old bucket full of essential oils.
He had a
big old 5-gallon bucket or something.
He had a big old gallon jug or something, and all I could read on it was chum bait, some kind of chumming bait. He used right in the gut.
Well, I'll tell you what, this right now, what I've learned from my pre-fishing with all this stuff, I got to find something else. So let's put it that way.
Now, Brian Taylor, did you see them pictures he put up the other day where he's cooking them steaks on that new boat? Did you see the seats in that new boat, Kevin?
Yes, it looked like the office chairs.
Looked like an office chair, and he said he got him a new cooker on his boat, got him one of them black stone griddles on there now. And Denise is tuned in, Kevin.
Hey, well, we can't see those.
Yeah, but anyway, this weekend, catfish jugging opened the first of two at the William Bill Danley Reservoir, Lake Millers Ferry. Day cracked at 2 o'clock. Weigh in at the Roland Cooper State Park. $25 adult. Kids are free. The weigh-in, like I said, will be at the T Pier, and we got a new weighmaster. The new guy at the state park is going to do it. Super nice couple. They're not the park manager, Miss June and Cliff are still there, but this is a young guy, and he's eating this up, man. Well, y'all gonna really enjoy working with him, and he's gonna be the weighmaster, and I guess Taylor is gonna be the MC. I'm gonna try to get him to do all the MCing, and
Good.
And it is a 25 jug limit per boat, 1 hook per jug, 3 fish weigh in. Only one can be over 34 inches, and you can go launch anywhere. But we need everybody to get signed up before 5 o'clock Friday evening. Well, I say 12 o'clock Friday. Either Dunn Sports or CT Ward Power Sports, because we darn sure want to have time to get the money all collected and get it cashed. I don't know how they're going to do it. Don't care, but I'm going to be out there fishing. But Michael Hilliard said the catfish on fire right now. And
yeah, they are.
And so I'm looking for record-breaking catches this Saturday.
Over 55 pounds.
Yeah, I think so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What you think?
Second place.
Yeah.
Now he went to throw it.
Yeah, he's been mighty quiet lately, ain't he, Joe Allen? He's been kind of laying low.
He just stretched out there now.
Yeah, Taylor said, please register before 5 o'clock. Please.
Yeah.
All right, let's go from anything else on catfishing, anything y'all want to talk about, Kevin, that we need to tell everybody before Saturday? Safety. It's going to be cool that morning.
Depending on, the river's going to have, it's swift. It's probably not as trashy. I ain't been over there because the water's been up and moving a while. We're going to get, if we get a heavy rain from this front coming through, you may get some trash out there. If you leave before daylight, you're trying to get your hole. Be careful.
Yeah. And I found out yesterday, Travis Powell is scared of me. I found one of his jugs, and he said, "Where you at?" And I wouldn't say. And then all of a sudden, I ain't never caught no fish in there. And I think he was lying.
No, I don't believe it's a lying, Kevin.
No, Travis is the Holy Grail. He is like,
I meant to say Travis.
The truth. That's all it is. The truth. Nothing but the truth.
Yeah.
He's like Adam 12.
The fish are shallow. I don't think you need a jug with more than 4-foot lines on it, do y'all?
No more. But
mine's got a 4-foot line on it. I'm gonna cut it off.
Yeah. It needs to be about 2 foot because you're going to be running in 4 foot and 3 foot of water.
All right, let's go to crappie fishing. Shane, Brandon Threadgill, and Jonathan, they caught 7 fish, 1302 to win the Wise Lake tournament. I wondered if Wise Lake was going to show out. That's pretty good weight up there, ain't it?
Oh yeah, that's strong. Yeah, they did good. They got a lot of knowledge of that lake. I think they just used some prior knowledge. I know John went up there and pre-fished a couple of days. He had one really good day, but people don't realize, man, when that water's changing, on these, they call them lakes in Alabama, but they're rivers. The only lake really that's big enough to be considered a lake is Lake Martin. Mm-hmm. It's stable. The conditions stay the same, but your Coosa River, your Warrior River, it's a river system. So is Wise Lake. It's a river system. It's not a lake, so it changes, and it's hard to. But the good thing about those, they probably caught, I didn't see the pictures, they probably caught some white crappie, and they're pretty stable. If you can get a pattern on those, you can pretty much catch them. If they're shallow on some stumps, they'll stay there. So, but yeah, 13 pounds is strong.
Yes, sir.
Number
Roll.
7 fish.
What'd you say, Kevin?
7 fish or 10?
It's
Seven.
seven. It's seven.
Yeah, that's 180, 190 average.
Yeah, I think that I don't know. The big fish they had was a little over 2 pounds. It wasn't nothing. I don't even know who won big fish, but I think Wesley Cole did. But Keith and Wesley's doing a good job of that crappie masters. I will say that. So.
Hey, we got some top-notch catfishermen on here tonight. Lucas Gibson, Michael Hilliard, that's the big boys. And Brian Taylor. They are all good catfishermen. I hope Brian ain't gonna fish in the tournament. I told him he needs to come help at the weigh-in. And anyhow, all right,
you need Stacy to come up there and help you MC it.
Stacy ain't got time. Did you see that video he put out yesterday where he had done made 1,200 of them SmackDown rod holders, getting them ready to send out? 1,200 of them.
I know he's big time, but he come down here with us a little lower peons every once in a while and have a good time.
All right, the crappie fishing, Shane, Joe Allen, Kevin, everybody listening. That Roland Cooper State Park made the announcement Monday morning, May the 27th. They are having their big crappie day, May the 27th. That's where you weigh in every fish on the hour, 75 for the big one, 50 for the second, 25 third, every hour on the hour, $500 at the end of the day for the big fish. Last year, Jason Threadgill won it, Brandon's brother. And but man, that's a great format, and I hope you can fish it that day, Shane. If you ain't
I'm gonna leave it open. I'm gonna leave it. I booked myself a trip last year, and I'm gonna leave it open this year.
But now let's talk about those people that might not be interested in jugging, might not be interested in bass fishing. What if they come in crappie fishing this weekend? And you coming to Millers Ferry, right, Shane?
Yeah, I'm coming to try to get that way. I can give an honest report down there because I know where I've been the last 2 weekends. Well, I went to Florida the weekend before. This past weekend, I fished up here. I found some fish, but there was still not a lot of fish in certain areas. So, the good thing about going fishing, guys, this time of year, where not to fish. I mean, that's a joke, but that's the truth. Hey, conditions are this. There's no fish, but I imagine since the river's been up for 2.5, 3 weeks now, that them fish have to be pushed up in the mouth of those creeks somewhere. There have to be either. I'm not saying they're going to be all the way in the back. They've got to be in those creeks somewhere. Those eggs are pushing on those females. The hormones are running in those males. They know they're not, but let's see, they're not but a couple weeks, a month from some of them going up there spawning. So they've got to get in gear going that way.
Joey Kirby, that's another catfish king. Joey Kirby's tuned in Owensboro, Kentucky. And Lucas, yes, we are still having the noodle tournament this weekend, and we'd love to have you in it. But you need to get signed up before 5 o'clock Friday afternoon at Dunn Sports or Keyword Power Sport. What you gonna do, Shane? How you gonna do it? You gonna go up in the flats and the stumps and the trees?
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna look at that current, and obviously, you said they're pulling the mess out of the water, so the main river probably out of play except a few eddies, maybe. But I'm gonna go in there and side scan some stuff, drop my trolling motor, cover some water. And if I see a fish in 10 foot of water, hey, if they're shallow, I'm going to cover one creek and try. If I find fish, I'm going to try to, match that pattern in another creek somewhere. If it's timber, if it's a brush pile, or if it's the mouth of the creek, or if they're just in a creek channel, say like in, G's Bend, if they're just in the creek channel running that ferry channel right there, they could be out there in it. I don't know. Once I find them, or I may not find them. I mean, it's just you just don't know.
Well, they're like this, just like a starting point. I mean, what range are you looking for from 10 to 14?
I will be honest with you. I caught fish here up the river up here. They were 8 foot deep. That 2-pounder that kid caught with me, it was 8 foot deep and about 14 foot of water. It was actually under a dock, so that gives me something to 8 foot. So I'm thinking, 8 to 12 foot. That's what I'm looking at, Kevin.
What kind of temperature range do you look for in that water range?
Well, it depends on where the bait is, Kevin. If the bait's down, if the bait's in there and it's 53 degrees, I'm not going to argue with them. If they're on there eating them, I'm going to go. I'm not really worried about temperature if the bait's in there, because if those fish are in there, you know, moving, and especially in their pattern, they're moving up shallower. Excuse me. They're going to be not far from shad. They're not going to be in a you know, you get a creek and there's no bait in there. It's just like no different than bass fishing. They've got to eat right now. They want to gorge yourself. All the fish I've cleaned here, even in Florida, you know, those fish might be about a week or two ahead of where we are. So they were still out in the channels, you know, and they're not far from. I think it's crazy. I'm learning that those blackfish, when they school up, they're not but 5, 6, 7, 8 foot deep. And I think when the water warms up, they just go parallel to the creek. You know, they're not coming off the bottom. They just run on up in the creek, and they're already used to that water depth. And I think they just run up and spawn, and right there, you know, they just stay at that level and run up in those creeks.
That's amazing. I tell you, that live scope has taught us a whole lot. What we used to think, Joe Allen, is a whole lot different than what really happened.
Oh, yeah, I watched those fish in Florida go from 15 foot deep to 4 foot, and they'd run from 4 foot, and I'd catch a few of them, and then they go down. They're fishing at different depths, but they're just out there like wolf. They call them wolf packs because they're just feeding. That's exactly what they're doing. They're getting ready.
Well, Big Daddy, what time of year was that? Me and you shot the video or the thing where me and you fished, and I call it 2 old crappie fools out here fishing. That's getting pretty close, ain't it?
Yeah, that was just spring when we didn't even use a live throat. We went up.
No, we just went old style.
Old school, just working the bank. We sure did. Caught a lot of them. I don't remember when it was. It was in the springtime, though.
Yeah, it's getting close, though.
Yeah, my first trip down there last year was March 17th. So I know it's probably a month from now, but those fish, when I came down there with Scott Stevens on that guide trip, that was the first time I ever been on that end of the river. And they were already kind of homesteaded where they were. So
well, all I remember is you had a client down there, and I had to catch the fish to get to your client that day. I remember that.
Yeah, that was later on. We caught 40-something fish that day. I was in Scott's boat.
Yeah, I can say I did kick Shane Jones' ass one day on Millers Ferry.
It was sometime later in the spring, wasn't it?
I don't remember when it was.
It was on over in May when me and you went that day and caught him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I came down. It was the 1st of April when I really got into them, and then me and Joe Allen went. Then me and you went. So it was on in April, the 1st of April.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to bass fishing, Kevin. This weekend they had a tournament at Demopolis, the Poor Man's Tournament Trail. Let's see who won it. It was 14.3 pounds. Won it, and I don't know how many boats they had, but I thought that was pretty light weight. But now the Pirates of the South, them Demopolis boys, them Cook boys, Lawson and Chris Cook, they had 1889 and the Pride of the South tournament Saturday. So looks like the on Millers Ferry is pretty strong, Kevin.
Strong. Now, I know that he had all spots too, and I would say that he ventured farther up the river than Camden. But
I will say my hat's off to Jeremy Bass. He did turn in, send it to me, his bass report, and you are correct. It was a lot of spots weighed in Saturday. Yeah. I appreciate him filling out that bait report. I wish everybody would do that. All right, if they come into Millers Ferry this weekend, bass fishing, I don't know of an organized tournament this weekend. Maddie will be here next weekend with her Bridgeport team trail on the 25th. What they going to do this weekend, Kevin?
I know it's going to be, you're going to have to look at water clarity, temperature, and bait. Mm-hmm. And then depending on this front, I just saw earlier they pushed this thing back 4 or 5 hours, this front coming in. So, it depends on Saturday morning, we're post frontal or pre frontal on like whether I'm gonna get out there and burn a spinner bait or throw a top water bait or something like that, whether you're gonna have to slow down and hit them in the head. But you're gonna have to find that it ain't gotta be clear water. You just gotta have water that's better than the water around you. and then the temperature, and 'cause the bass they'll like, especially around the grass, and all this dead grass, it's like a big old filter. You look at the water, be clear up in there, and right beside it, be dirty. Them bass, they get up there and hide around that grass and shoot out there in that muddy water, ambush and stuff. But temperature and bait is going to be a big factor in that front. How bad it's going to get, how much rain we're going to get, because it will. We get 2 or 3 inches of rain, it's going to cool down some of that real skinny water. But the bass they're probably ahead of the crappie wanting to do their business. I mean, their bellies is hurting, and they ready to go too. Because historically, probably at Millers Ferry, you got, I'm gonna say 75% of the fish do it in the early spring, and then all your fish that live on the flats and on the lower end out in the current like it, they're over in the end of March, 1st of April, getting their business done, because that's river water. I mean, you're fishing in a foot of water, but that's river water going through there. So them fish spawn a little later.
And now we are all old timers now. Ain't too much of an old timer, but I am. And the old timer always told me,
he's gonna dye his beard gray or something. That's what we're gonna have to do. Give him dye his beard gray.
It's getting there.
The last 2 weeks in February said when them crappie used to move to the bank on Millers Ferry. That's what the old timers always told me.
Oh yeah, well you got to take consideration Friday after that front. You got a 20-mile-an-hour northwest wind. It's gonna blow that bait around. So you better be paying attention to that, where that bait's blowing to, especially bass fishing.
And what bank it's blowing into.
Exactly. Like I said, I would get on Navionics. Because I always thought it's crazy right there at Joe Allen's place. The river's pointing north right there. You're like, what in the world? I mean, the way that river turns. You got to pay attention to that, because if that wind's blowing, it says right here, 10 to 20 mile an hour, then Saturday, it's northeast. So it's going to position, Kevin, to tell you, it's going to put them fish in a certain place.
That's right. Well, sometimes it gets so bad, you got to try to get out the wind to fish, but sometimes that ain't the deal. You know what I mean? You got to just like bow up and get out there, because the bait, especially if you're coming off a post front, they feeling that pressure the same as the bass are, and they not struggling. They just let the damn wind and the current kind of move them around.
Right. Exactly. They're eating plankton or whatever they eat, when them fish is blowing. That's why you're talking about them catfish. You better pay attention to that too, because them big old catfish, they eating them shad too.
Yeah.
That's right.
Miss Lynn Jones is watching us from Palometa, Florida. How you doing, Lynn? All right, let's move on to the small game. We got all kind of small game events coming up this weekend, including the Alabama Hawkers Association meet and hunt in Demopolis, Alabama, the David K. Nelson Squirrel Hunt in Selma, Alabama, the Alabama Farmers Co-op, the Coon Hunt in Jackson, Alabama, and Jared will be on the show with me Friday morning. We'll talk a lot more about that. We got the A&M Pawn Shop Coyote Classic. And we also, I just finished talk about old Bucky Barrett. He's loading the dogs up right now, going coon hunting. And, of course, we've already talked about the jugging event coming up this weekend. But old Bucky, he's been tearing up some coons and sending me some great pictures. And old Bo D sent me a picture the other day. He was out there for an hour and 20 minutes and had him 12 squirrels. And I want to know what the state of Peanut is, Joe Allen. I heard Scott get rid of Peanut.
Scott's calling you. Peanut's gonna end up staying with you. Peanut eats up too many chairs and seats and all that around his house.
Well, you know why?
Even though she trees squirrels, she gotta go.
You got to take them hunting before they can tree a squirrel.
Take it out some frustration on not going hunting. They chew it up the furniture and everything else.
Well, that's exactly right. But that's a good little old dog. I ain't got nowhere. I can't take him. But somebody wants a good little squirrel.
She could ride with you to work, sit up in the studio with you every day, and then ride home with you after work.
Ain't gonna happen.
Like, tell us how you think, Big Daddy.
Yeah, ain't gonna happen. I ain't got time. A dog is like a woman. You gotta take care of.
Yeah.
But But anyhow, I hope he finds a good home. I'm gonna miss old Peanut down there. I guarantee you, he's a good little old dog.
Buzzard probably take Peanut.
Yeah, Buzzard might take him, but I hate to see Buzzard pin him. He gonna pin him up.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? We about done covered everything I got. I know it's gonna be. Remind everybody once again, if you're gonna get in the jugging contest, let's get signed up before 5 o'clock Friday at Dunn Sports in Thomasville, CT Ward Power Sports, and you can call and use a credit card, but you're gonna cost you 3% extra. What you want to move over that to show us what y'all?
Yeah, Kevin's gonna show you what we've been cooking in the pot.
All right, good.
And what all you missing sitting over there?
That's why I say, woo. What is that, soup?
Deer shoulder.
Okay.
I'm done cooked it down. And we're going to cook some biscuits with it. We fix to eat.
All right. Well, that looks good. Good. And I'll be glad when you get back over here, because I ain't had I think I done lost about 20 pounds since you were
I don't want you to starve to death, so I got to get back and go to cooking for you.
You sure have. I miss you. Me and Buzzard both miss you.
All right.
Well, I'll see y'all Saturday, and I'll be here Friday morning. And thank y'all for y'all go enjoy that deal. I wish we was over there, Shane. Me and you could put.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it right now. I got some pork chops in there. I'm gonna finish off. But I ain't got nothing like that.
All right, thank y'all, appreciate it, and we'll see y'all next week. We'll see who's gonna do the crowing, Kevin.
That's right.
Yeah, I like I said, we'll see who shows up for the show. How about that, Big Daddy?
Yeah. All right, everybody. Thank y'all. Appreciate you tuning in, and we'll see y'all next time.
Pap taught me every critter's track and how to set a hair trigger on a trap. He taught me to shoot, scale, and skin and make a snare with a leather strap. He taught me to be a part of the woods and all his woodsy tricks. Said you gotta walk soft on 2 light feet and try not to break no stick.